Hello and welcome to the Patreon exclusive edition of Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm Victor Dandridge.
Ryan Seymour.
And we're about to tackle the Orphan Age #1,
Yes.
AfterShock comics, Ted Anderson, Nuno Platti. This book was fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed this book a lot. I knew nothing going in.
Kind of the same way. I went in super blind. I
Yeah.
only knew like the little blurb in the previous catalog, like
Okay.
oh, it's in a world where people disappeared.
Right.
Like, okay, so like why the last Manish?
Right,
Whatever.
right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And I was incredibly pleasantly surprised with this book.
Man.
Really, really good.
So, all right, we start off with the world is kind of like people aren't just disappearing. Like they're literally dead on the boom, just
You're
drop.
seeing dead bodies.
Yeah.
Which takes that up a notch. Like it really.
It does, because it adds a level that it's like, oh, this is serious. But we catch this from the standpoint of two young men, Joey and Daniel, and it looks like they're brothers.
Yep.
But like actually brothers because they're both black. Boom. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to figure out like
we've just had that in subtitles. Like when you're talking like two young brothers,
but actual brothers.
But
actual. They're walking home, and it looks like all this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And they're like, trying to take and reconcile what this is.
Yeah.
And Joey, the oldest, is like, look, we'll get to mom, and she'll be able to explain what's going on. She'll be able to figure this out and tell us what's up.
Can you imagine being a kid and just seeing every adult around you just slump?
No. And literally in 5 panels, this book hooked me.
It's the most heartbreaking 5 panels I've seen in
a long time. And you read Empty Man today, so that says a lot. They end up coming home trying to find out some sort of explanation. Something,
mom's gonna know.
Something happened. Everyone outside there, and with just a hint of seeing her arm slumped over, you realize that their mom also perished.
Yeah.
Boom. 2-page spread. 20 years later.
Yeah.
What sort of intro? Like you're all emotionally invested and you're like, now.
Yeah. 5 panels. And I'm already like.
Right. Like, holy crap. So we're in Dallas town, and what we see is a person kind of slumped over on a horse heading towards a man and his daughter. Real quickly, we see that it's essentially a riding lesson, yeah?
Yeah. His dad's teaching his girl, or his daughter, Princess, how to ride a horse. Which, as we're finding out, is actually a super, super important skill.
Yes, it is.
Because in that 20-year gap, as far as we can tell, all the adults died.
Right. All of them. So literally any adults now were survivors of this this occurrence. Yeah, they were all kids. Like that's crazy. Like can you imagine like literally a world without adults?
Right.
And you got to figure it out? That's dark. So this guy is slumped over heading towards him. I love the instinctual like get behind me move that the dad does. Very silent, doesn't say anything, and essentially is like, look, get on the horse, ride to town, and tell the doc that there's been a guy that's been shot, and we need to help him. And this is where like what I love is like the world building. It's a slow burn, but it's really well done. We get introduced to a situation, then 2 characters in the far future. And then we start to see the world that they live in and the different characters that they're going to interact with. So we meet Doc, and she's explaining like the situation. Hey, this guy showed up. He's bleeding really bad. My dad's coming back with him. Get ready.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about because that means this woman who was a little girl had to figure out medicine through tracking down medical journals, books, completely self-taught.
Absolutely true. And that's incredible. I didn't even think about it like that, but that's true. That's absolutely true. So we see them starting to help out, get the guy off the horse and all that. But there's this woman in the far back that's kind of watching all this happen.
I don't know if it's a sad look on her face, but there's some kind
of
melancholy.
Sort of knowing there. Like it's like she recognizes something.
Yeah.
And then we find out that she's kind of the bard of the town.
Don't play a bard. Don't play a bard when you play D&D.
I'm just saying, like, that's what she seems to be. And she's singing songs that, speak to the revelry of the situation and tries to, I don't know, like kind of create a better vibe.
Yeah. Like providing something for the community in a form of entertainment. And it's this snapshot. Like we know we're coming out of some kind of a really horrible apocalypse situation. but this snapshot we're doctor and everybody's taking care of each other, and they're sharing a communal meal.
Right.
Like, this is kind of idyllic. Like,
it really is.
This is paradise in a sense.
It is. You know, people are communicating, they're talking to one another. No one is focused on technology and ignoring, you know, anyone else around them. They're all having a very like simple, congenial conversation. Even talking about the damn birds getting into the corn again. Curse the birds.
Oh, birds.
Right. So what I love here is, again, as a parent, this is a very parental move. The dad sits down and is talking to Princess and is trying to have very regular conversation. And her, you know, focus kind of dips towards the man. You know, hey, so is he up yet?
What about this dude?
Do we know anything about him? No? What's up? And I love it. Like, he's so good at really like refocusing the conversation to make it not necessarily mundane, but about the normalcy of their life.
Grounding things and keeping her mind on the normal parts.
Right.
And like the fact that she's an integral part of the teaching. Like, she's helping teach the younger kids. Right. Which is just awesome.
It's brilliant.
Like, I'm
absolutely brilliant.
Can we go to this community and live?
Like, I would love to add my daughter to that mix. I think she would do a great job of it. So I'm all for it. We found out that the singer is Willa, and she has been a newcomer to the group, but at the same time is still kind of not like quite integrated yet. Like, she's doing something through song, which is great, but when it came to like sharing and wanting to engage, like everyone else, she's kind of like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. And we meet Jacob, and Jacob tells a story that,
it's so sad and heartbreaking.
It really is, man. Like, it's a recap of his dreams. And Jacob doesn't seem to be very old.
No.
So he would have possibly been like a baby when this happened.
Because if he's,
like, I mean, he looks barely 20, like truly a baby. So, and that adds a whole nother dynamic. Like, if there are infants that were around, how many of them made it to this age? Because who would have been there to take care of them? Would have been anyone to feed them. Unless like the cutoff age was like high teens. And then maybe they would be able to go to the store and get formula or something like that. But that's a lot of questions that we don't know yet. Like, and it's brilliant. But so he has this retelling of a dream, and it's dark. Like, so dark.
It's like survivor guilt to
the nth degree.
Just.
But what I thought was really interesting as a characterization point is, rather than talking to a shrink, he's talking to the community.
And everybody thanks him.
Right.
Like, there's no judgment.
At all. Like, this is a truly judgment-free zone, because maybe everyone has some level of this, and he just needs to get his out, and that's what this whole sharing presentation is about. Which is, I mean, that's wonderful. What we are seeing here is this guy and the daughter, they seem to be alone. There doesn't seem to be a mom here.
I don't see that.
We don't know why just yet. Brian is his name. Have we established that he's married yet?
No,
I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so.
Sorry, spoiler. But what we see is that in his statement, like, we see that this world is different than ours. And to a degree, smaller than ours.
And Princess is curious, like, how did people used to do things? Like,
Right.
did you have stuff like sharing time? And he's like, no, we didn't. And she asks why, and I don't know. Maybe not enough time. I guess we figured people didn't need it. Maybe the world was good enough back then.
Right. Wow. What an idyllic way of looking at the past. You know, sense of nostalgia, if you will. And I don't know. Today I can tell you that ain't true, man. We should definitely have more sharing time. I think that's perfect. I might actually integrate that at home and just be like, share something with me today. Like, something. It doesn't matter what it is.
All sit around
and just share something. So the next day, and again, I love the coloring of this to establish night and day. We do find out that it's Mayor Brian, and the stranger is awake. You know, gunshot wound is been stitched up. He's awake, and we got a situation. We find out that this guy is trying to leave.
Yeah.
And we get introduced to Daniel, one of the brothers, presumably one of the brothers, that's right, from the very beginning.
Yeah, because I think
the younger of the two, is Daniel. So he's like, listen, if you have the opportunity, you people need to pack up and go.
Yeah.
You need to leave, like right now. And of course, Mayor Brian is like, why? Yeah. And I love the flatness of his tone. He doesn't get excited.
Yeah.
He doesn't get angry. Why is that? You know, even using his name. Why is that, Daniel?
Yeah.
Like it's a way of relating to each other.
Yeah.
That I think is so. It's not now. That's for sure.
It's definitely not.
You know, and he very matter of factly says, "I just came out of McClaister." Is that how you think that? McAllister? They've been overrun. The new church marched on the place.
Which piques my interest. Like,
new church as opposed to old church?
Yeah. What is that?
What is the church in this context?
What do you mean marched?
Right, because that's a very imperial Darth Vader's kind of context. And this actually sparks a reaction.
Yeah, his facial expression changes from calm to, oh, no.
Right, like, what do you mean here? Because I know what this could be.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And is that what you're saying? Yeah. And that was the best part. I love it. That's not possible. The church has never been this far west. What I love is that we are in a place where this world is so small now that if something has not happened, you don't think that it's possible to happen.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Well, they've got their territory. Why would they?
Right. Like there's no reason for them to come here. Yeah. And Daniel, of course, is like, tell that to the guys that I saw that are coming this way with their crosses and rifles. Yeah. I don't think.
Doesn't sound that much fun.
Not at all. What I love is that we see the precociousness of Princess, who is listening in on that conversation.
She's eavesdropping, like,
hardcore.
The best of them.
Hardcore.
Like, I get the feeling she's a little bit older than her age.
I do too. Like, spiritually, she's definitely there on some stuff. So Brian realizes that if they took over this town, the amount of ammo and ammunitions and things like that they just came into could last them for a very long time.
Yeah. Which is interesting in the sense that they know certain areas have strategic advantages.
Right.
They have certain areas of wealth,
right,
one might say. And that's a full world. It's not just little small hovels that never interact with anything else. It's weird. It's almost like in a Walking Dead sense, except there is connection between the communities.
Exactly. Without the fear of the undead intervening, they were actually able to build different communities and operate within each other, together. What I love is that Brian, in his attempt to rationalize this, overlooks the simplest, most easy statement possible. Yeah. And he's like, well, they might not bother us because we're just a farming place. Yeah. Like, that's it.
Like, no, they got to eat.
Daniel's like, come on, bro. Like, think this through. Yeah. Like, I know that I just rattled your chain a little bit, but I'm going to need you to keep that clear head just a little bit longer.
If you got voted to mayor, you need to be able to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, like, come on. Put this together, man. And I love it. He's like, look, if you've got guns, if you got the means to build a barricade, let's do that. Or let's get out now. Like, we got to roll. And Brian looks at it, he's like, look, we've got stuff. You know, we've got horses, we've got guns, we've got plenty. However, we've got the group that predominantly would be in charge of those things is out of town right now. Yeah. And they're not due back till next week.
Because they're just going about life as usual. We're going to go to the town, we're going to scavenge in the suburbs. And like that look on his face of just like, there's nothing we can do.
Right. Rock in a hard place. He says, if the church comes here, we won't be able to fight back and we won't be able to leave.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Right.
And just as much as he's come to that realization, he gets a call from the doc and is saying, hey, listen, someone's coming.
Yeah.
Like, literally what he's just been warned of, he doesn't have time to process.
Yeah. His eyes
at
are
all.
Like as big as saucers.
Right.
Just like,
oh, why? Why is this my life right now? But he does as expert of a father move as I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is pretty sly.
Yeah, he's like, look, I can't ask you to stay.
Yeah.
You know, I would never do that. You know, you're not a part of our community.
Yeah.
I helped you, but you don't owe me
Yeah.
per se. But if there was any sense of that you feel,
take my daughter,
take my kid, like take her and get out of here, please.
Which sets the stakes because they haven't said what exactly happens when the new church marches through.
Right.
We have no idea.
We just know it's bad.
Yeah. So if he's like, get my daughter out of town, what the heck is like? What do they do?
What is this? Right. He comes outside to see like that she's been there the whole time. He knows his kid and is like, is everything packed? She's like, yes. So even though he's the mayor, like they've had an escape plan prepared this whole time.
Yeah, there's an exit strategy.
Like that's brilliant. We see 3 guys ride up on horses, maybe 4. And the lead guy's horse
It's got like
is decked out and branded
yeah,
in all these crosses.
which is just really kind of disturbing looking.
Super disturbing. He is like a punk pastor, maybe?
Yeah, that weird almost top knot hairdo.
Yeah. With the symbol on the back of his jacket.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot. But when he comes in, he is speaking at the people.
Yeah.
Loudly.
Yeah.
Basically giving their pitch, which is essentially putting everyone on warning.
Yeah. It's like
That's dark.
a lot like when you're reading, you get the vibe like the Ebony Maw.
Yes.
When he shows up.
Yes.
And
Except when Ebony Maw came, he was talking to those that were in his like eyesight, and that was it. This guy's clearly yelling.
yeah, everybody that can hear.
You get what the situation is. So Brian comes in, and again, you know, Even Timber is like, look, I'm the mayor here.
Yeah.
We can offer your men food and bed for the night, but I'm afraid that's it. Like, simple.
That's all we got.
Let me just kind of cut this off right now. And dude is like, we have not come for food, mayor, but for souls.
Yeah.
And then goes right back into his pitch.
Yeah. And it's like, who among you is brave enough to proclaim your faith? Who wishes to join the glory of the new church? The church welcomes all believers with open arms and glad hearts. Testify to your joy, to your truth. Testify to the new church. And Princess is still doing her
eavesdropping.
thing.
Find out what's up.
Someone snatches her and says, quiet.
Right. And it's Daniel. And he's like, you're Princess, right? The mayor's kid? She's like, yes. He said, your dad asked me to protect you, get you out of town. Can you ride? It's like, yep, absolutely. He says, good. We need to get out of here as soon as we can.
Blam. Gunshot you can hear. And they look out, and there's Mayor Brian on his back, on the ground, with a pool of blood forming by his head. What did he do wrong? Like, what did he do that you would get shot
It's
for?
the worst. It's the absolute worst. Because not only did they just kill him,
Yeah.
he said, your leader has spoken for you.
Yeah. And then automatic firearms come out, and they start mowing the crowd down.
Like everyone.
Yeah.
Armed, unarmed, doesn't matter. They are killing people indiscriminately, left and right.
And kids.
Right, like everyone. I mean, like literally, like that kid is saying, like, no, like.
And I'm hoping that it's just like he's saying, no, don't take me away.
Right.
Because the other option is they're about to kill a kid.
And that's just dark.
Yeah.
That's just dark. They're firebombing the place, Molotov cocktails.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So it's not even like you're killing everybody and then looting. You're just actually razing the town to the
Destroying
ground.
everything. They're trying to pack up and get ready to go, and they're like, we're going to get to Albany. Like, that's where we're trying to go. I can take you there, but we need to leave right now. And as they're making this plan,
One of the new church people walks in with their gun drawn and pointed at Princess. Like, at that point, like, we've already seen how hardcore the series is. Like, I was invested in Brian.
right.
And Brian's already dead, so I'm like, shoot, are they going to kill Princess?
What are we going to have here? Like, what's about to happen? Daniel's already been shot once, so, yee.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's a blade behind him, and it gets to cut. And we see that it's Willa.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of walking through and is like, you leaving?
Yeah.
Daniel says, yeah. She says, they're gunning through town. We leave now, they might not chase us.
Yeah.
They're too busy killing everyone else to notice
this is
that
our
we've
window.
gone.
Oh, which is such a sad, like, do you want survivor guilt? Because this is how you get survivor
This
guilt.
is 100% how you get survivor guilt. And here is this little girl who has not processed that her dad got murdered.
Yeah.
And they're like, come on, you gotta
Yeah.
come with me. You gotta run.
Yeah, you now have to ride with some dude who just came into town last night.
Right.
And then the one, like Willa, who sings songs, and that's it.
That's it. And you don't even know her
Yeah.
that well. They come riding out hardcore the stable. 2 gunmen are there. Daniel, luckily, is a great shot.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
That's the thing. Like 2 headshots.
Right. While riding a horse.
Like,
Like he's not playing here.
Dude is no joke. And
Right.
like we've seen him with the shirt off, so he is cut. Like, so is he like the military equivalent? Like, what is his story? 'Cause
It's got to be
20
something
years.
hardcore, man. He's like, keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep riding. They make their way out, and they're pretty certain that they're clear. And they're like, look, they can't spare people to chase us down.
Yeah.
So this will be, this will be in our favor of sorts, but it's also in their favor, because if we tell people, what happened, we're kind of spreading that word for them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I heard that Ninja used to like infiltrate a village and then talk about the fact that Ninja were coming and then make the village like locked down, but they were already there and no one knew it. So then when they show up anyway, they're like, they're unbeatable, you can't stop them. But they were really already there the whole time. But that's some genius level stuff. Like that's scary as all possible. Again, Princess is a soldier.
Yeah.
She's an absolute soldier. I love her tenacity here. And this is when they are kind of forming a plan. Like they were literally just 3 survivors in a circumstance. But now they're like, look, we can be 3 individual people alone.
Yeah.
2 people, going somewhere, you're alone, or we can be all 3.
Yeah.
What's up? And Willa is like, yeah.
The
I'd rather be alone.
Yeah, but the math makes sense.
Like that's what we're doing. And they make their way towards Albany.
Yeah.
I am so invested in this.
Right.
I'm on board.
Right.
100%, man. This was a good read. This is great storytelling.
5 panels in, I was totally in. Like I want to know, because there's so many questions coming out of how did they get from there to there, and then just the way the story's going. I'm like, okay, and then seeing Brian get shot.
Man,
I shouldn't be that many pages in, or
you
that
shouldn't
few
care about
pages
that
in.
dude.
I'm like,
you shouldn't care about that dude. You should be like, whatever, forget him.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Done got me.
This was amazing.
Yeah.
And
Ted and Nuno killed it.
Man, completely. This is a great read. Orphan Age #1. Read this. Get this. Read this. Own this. Support this. AfterShock.
Doing good stuff.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Oh.